And in Horizon Ag Turf showing number 2, we're ready with comments from Kari Brumley, our UFA Junior Futurity Purebred Show judge. This is her class of first of 2 splits of bull calves, and we're ready with comments from our judge.
I think an excellent place to start here in the bull show. This little guy's doing a good job getting this bull calf shown. I just think he's the most fault-free. He's super sound. He's super elegant to watch him. I like how masculine he is in his head, and he's up-headed in his front 1/3. I like the underline in his belly. He's really good in his hip structure. I just think a really logical place to start in a really nice bull calf. The bull calf that comes in second, there's a few things that I'd like to change about him, but I think that altogether he brings the most pieces together in this class. I love how stout he is, how bold he is. I love how big boned he is. I just wish that he was a little more flexible at his pass turns, but he's really good in his angles. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but a really nice duo of bull calves here in this class to start off the bull show.
And thanks very much, Judge Kari. First place and advancing to our championship of the bull calves is Wells Davis, the veteran showman from Acme, Alberta, entry number 186 with Arda Grand Junction 151N. And he'll be joined in second place by Austin Holman from Red Deer County with entry 181 BNH Nashville 26N. We do also want to acknowledge Madeline Clough, Abigail Tillman, Sarah Whipf, and Abigail Davis for their participation in this first of 2 splits of purebred bull calves. In Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2, our second split of bull calves. Entry 190 is a scratch at the top of page 22. 190 is a scratch. Geez, I like the white stripes. That song just makes me want to groove. This is our final class of our purebred section before we move into our champion bull calf. And then, folks, we will have a showmanship only class. And so this is just something to remind our judge about too. The next class into the ring is a showmanship only class. So all of the youth that entered showmanship only but did not have an animal, they'll come into this ring to be judged for showmanship only to see if our 3 judges advance them in Pee-wee or juniors or intermediates or seniors. That will be our class into the ring after the champion bull calf. And then we will roll into the ring with our Grand Champion Drive, our Junior Futurity Purebred Grand and Reserve Grand Champion Drive.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll draw your attention to show ring number 1, and we are off and running with our junior futurity in the commercial section. So this is class number 1, split 1 in the junior futurity. So this is our calendar year heifer calves. These are our youngest calves. And our splits today, our scratches today is entry number 2 and 3. And for Judge Will Bradford, our age range here is May 11th to the end of March. Okay, folks, we're ready for comments on our first split of commercial heifer calves from Judge Will Bradford.
Thanks, Tracy. Just first, before I get in this commercial show, I'd just like to thank the Farm Fair International Committee for allowing me to come out and judge the junior commercial side of the junior show. It's kind of an honor to be asked to be in the Farm Fair ring judging cattle, and along with all the sponsors to make the show go on. So I think a really interesting set of heifer calves here to start the class off with. I think this black heifer calf that we're going to use to win, I think she's the stoutest and the most stylish heifer. I think she's got the more advantage of depth of body when you analyze it through her forerib and up and through her center portion of her body. And I think that's a heifer with some power and some stoutness. She's sound enough for me, I think, but I think she maybe gives up a bit in terms of the way she gets off on her front end to the second place heifer. But I think with that, you're going to have the added power, and that's what we're going to use to win this class. I really like the roan heifer coming in second. She's the stylist and the most attractive heifer. You really love her over her head and neck, the way she comes out of that shoulder into her skull. It's a heifer that's really nice. Maybe just like to clean up her navel just a little bit under her belly line, but that's a really balanced and really attractive heifer to use in the second place spot. Congratulations to this young man. Get another shorthorn heifer coming in second. I think just one thing that roan heifer has an advantage. I think she's better off in the angle of her hock. I think that heifer maybe just slightly toes out on her back legs. I like the depth of body and the mass that heifer has, but I just like the attractiveness and the smooth made and the type of the second place heifer, and that's what we're going to use a split. Kind of a judgment call on that one, but we're going to go with that. The Hereford heifer coming in, it's going to round our class. You know, a really stylish and really smooth made heifer. Probably just gives up a bit of jam and overall performance care of those heifers above her. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. So advancing in our first class, entry number 48 from Chase Holman of Red Deer County with RWG Splash 338N. And joining him, entry number 3, BF Drama 512N from Bo Bishop. They are our top 2 qualifying for our commercial heifer calf division. Third in class, entry 4, Double Star SVK Nella 56K from Marnix Hulman. And fourth in class, entry number 2, Tailor Made Mini 92J from Brielle Bunting.
Horizon Ag and Turf, showing number 2, featuring our UFA Junior Futurity Purebred show. It now has the placed class that is the final class of animals that our judge, Kari Brumley, has not already seen at least once. So she's now going to comment on her second split of calendar year bull calves, and here is Kari Brumley.
So I think a really tough class of bulls, and I'll kind of talk about how I see them because I think there are some differences in kind, and so I kind of had to pick my priorities. I think the bull that comes in first just brings the least amount of things to the least amount of problems to the surface. I think that he's really balanced in the way that he comes to you. I would like to give him a shot more bone, make him a little more masculine in his appearance, but he is the soundest at the ground. He is smooth and blends all of his pieces together really well, just kind of a fault-free bull that I'd like to start with. The bull in second is really hard for me to get a look at. He is really fighting this wire halter. He does not like it, it appears, so it's hard for me to get a really good, strong look at him. I do wish that he was more masculine, and I don't know that he has enough in his heart and forerib, but I think his pieces are really good. He's so big boned. When he really does get to move, he does move with authority off of both ends, and I do appreciate that. I'd like to give him a little more substance down in his lower quarter, but I do think that he brings a lot of really neat pieces to the table, and that's why I kind of let him hang in there. I just wanted to mention this bull that comes in third. I think that if he came out of the top side of his blade and gave you a little more of a look, I think that it comes in much more contention for first or even second. I just think this bull has a lot of really nice pieces. He blends them together really well. He's sound enough. He's square at the ground. I think a really nice trio of bulls that comes to the top. And bulls over here that are really nice too. This was a really strong class of bulls.
And thanks very much, Judge Kari Brumley. First place in our second split of bull calves in Horizon Ag and Turf Show Ring number 2, our UFA Junior Futurity Purebred Show, is entry 190, Fryburn Blackout, one in from Dylan Fry of Oxbow, Saskatchewan. Dylan and Blackout will be coming right back in for our championship of our bull calves. And he'll be joined by entry number 195, Bennett Blanchette from Edam, Saskatchewan with BRL Nobleman 504N. We also want to acknowledge in third place Luke Henderson of Erskine, Alberta with entry 193, LLB Profile 126N, as well as the other contestants in this class, Kaylin Eaton, Addison Barnett, and Luke Brook. And Austin Kishkan. Next up, however, is our calendar year purebred bull calf champion. And so here comes veteran showman Wells Davis of Acme, Alberta. Entry number 186, winner of our first split of those purebred bull calves with Arda Grand Junction 151N. And he's joined by second place in that class, Austin Holman from Red Deer County. Entry 181, B&H Nashville 26N. And then Dylan Fry just won our second split from Oxbow, Saskatchewan with entry 191, Fryburn Blackout 1N. Second place in that second split, BRL Nobleman 504M, entry 195 from Edam, Saskatchewan's Bennett Blanchette. Our judge, Kari Brumley, this is your senior bull calf champion. And just a reminder, folks, the next class into this ring in Horizon Ag and Turf Show Ring number 2 will be a showmanship only class. We'll ask Judge Brumley to work it like a regular class, but it won't be judged for confirmation. It will just be worked so that our showmanship judges will have the opportunity to evaluate those showmen who entered showmanship in our UFA Junior Futurity show but did not have an animal. And after that showmanship only class, then we will get into our purebred junior grand and reserve grand champion futurity class.
And over in ring number 1, we're ready for comments from Judge Will Bradford on our second split of commercial heifer calves.
Really like the red baldy calf that comes to the top. I think the added length of body and the depth of body that she adds to the table, along with the stoutness of her hip and the way she blends her down her top line into her head and neck. Is she the most attractive and the cleanest through her dewlap and through her throat? I don't think so, but I think that's a heifer with a lot of added performance. I quite like that heifer, and just in terms of the pattern that she's made and the way she's put together, she's sound from the ground. Congratulations to that exhibitor. Come in with the black and white heifer here. Here's a heifer that types in terms of frame size. I think maybe she gives up in terms of overall power. Maybe she's a little doesn't have the added depth in her flank. That's a heifer that she's probably got the more show ring attractiveness through her head and neck. That's a heifer I think types up with the heifer that's going to win in terms of the animals that are in this class. Coming to the black heifer next, here's a heifer that's broody and modern in her frame type. That's a heifer that's stout made. She's big bodied. Heifer that has a lot of useful goods in terms of a brood cow. I think that's an animal that's going to go on and work for that young man in the future. Coming into the next black heifer, here's the more attractive heifer in comparison to the heifer that's going to beat her. She's maybe has the advantage of frame score. I think just maybe she gives up in the overall added muscle. I think she gets a maybe bit flatter in the way in her type and kind. But that's a heifer that's attracted through her head and neck. She's smooth through her shoulder. Heifer that probably just finds herself in a tough class. We get down in these bottom 4 heifers. Heifers I think that just need some more added muscle, more added shape. Some heifers maybe also just have a bit more feed, but also find themselves in kind of a tough class.
Thank you, Will. We'll run down the results, but Rob, you're ready for comments in ring number 2?
And in Horizon Ag and Turf Show ring number 2, we're ready for comments from Judge Kari Brumley on her Bull Calf Championship.
I think these bulls come out here and even look better than they did in their classes. I think it's a strong duo of bulls that win their first classes and respective seconds behind us. I think that I'm just going to stick to my priorities. I think there's 2 that came to the top of their class quite handily. And I'm going to take one more look, and then I'll find you a champion in reserve. Let's give these juniors a round of applause for bringing these bulls out today.
One more look, and then we'll know our Bull Calf champions, folks. Many thanks, Judge Kari Brumley. Our 2025 American National Champion Herdsman. It's a big deal. And entry 191 shall be our winner, Fryburn Blackout, 1N. For Dylan Fry of Oxbow, Saskatchewan. Congratulations to Dylan. As Bennett Blanchette moves up with BRL Nobleman 504N. And sticking with the class, entry number 195 becomes our reserve grand champion. Bull Calf, BRL Nobleman 504N for Bennett Blanchette of Edam, Saskatchewan. Congratulations to Dylan Fry and Bennett Blanchette. Our next class into our Horizon Ag and Turf Show ring number 2 shall be this non-conformation class, this showmanship only class, for those exhibitors who did not have a live animal but will be evaluated for showmanship. And then we'll have our grand champion female class.
And over in ring number 1, we have results from our second split, our class winner and advancing to the division finals. Entry number 11 from Emily Dick with DMCC Katniss 525N. And also advancing entry 10, Rockstar Love and Marks from Bryn Burkhart. So those 2 will advance. Third in class went to entry 5, B&H Tibby's Bellissima 3N from Colby Holman. Fourth went to the added entry 24 from Kaylee Zabdovsky. Fifth in class went to entry 8, Ainsley Fraser. Sixth, entry number 9, Ayla Kendall Price. Seventh went to entry number 7, Chelsea Triber. And 8th, entry number 6, Vivian McKenzie. And what we have in the ring right now is our third split of commercial heifer calves. Our age range here is from February 1st to the 11th. And if you're marking your show programs, entry number 16 is a scratch. Man, no moss grows under this guy's feet. We're going to have comments now on our third split from Judge Will Bradford.
Kind of an interesting class. 2 heifers that are quite different in the way they're built. I'm going to go with the deeper body, more performance heifer. You know, it's a heifer, I think she's got just the added bit of stoutness when you analyze her through her pin set. You know, is she quite as good through her heart as a second place heifer? Maybe not, but I think the added depth of body and overall dimension, I think is what I'm going to go towards. In terms of structure, I think both these heifers maybe like to change them a bit off their front ends as they get out and walk. But I think the added muscle and added depth of bodies was going to bring this heifer to the top. Baldy heifer coming in next. That's a smooth made, nice topped heifer. Just gives up a bit of added muscle through her stifle. You maybe just like to drop her just a nickel more in her flank in comparison to the solid black heifer that's going to win. Two nice heifers, interesting class. We'll like to see them back in the championship. As we get back into the heifers that are going to stand, I think heifers that are quite different in the way they're made. The roan heifer maybe just gets a bit round in her muscle type and their design. The black heifer, she probably just gets a little out-horsed by the heifers above her just in terms of frame size and overall added muscle. Young man's heifer at the back of the class there. Animal he should be proud of for bringing out to the show today, and that's a heifer I think we'd like to see down the road as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. So advancing to our finals, entry 13, Harvey Crest Cream Soda, 5143N from Tell Harvey. And joining him is the entry from Shanley Fenkannel, Tidy's Rosie, 200N. That's entry 15. Third in class went to entry 12, Bella Woods. Fourth, entry 17, Brentley Horn. Fifth, entry 14, Hudson Bowmeister. And entry 16 was a scratch. This is our fourth of 5 splits coming in now. Commercial heifer calves, age range January 16th to the 31st.
So in Horizon Ag and Turf showing number 2, our UFA Junior Futurity Purebred show, this is our second last class. This class, again, as I've mentioned a couple times, is a showmanship only class. While we're very happy that Judge Kari Brumley is working it, these animals are not actually being judged for conformation. These are youth exhibitors or junior exhibitors who didn't have an animal but wanted to be considered for showmanship. So they're being considered by our 3 showmanship judges for Pee-wee, junior, intermediate, and senior showmanship. So Judge Kari's going to work them just like anybody else so that our showmanship judges have the opportunity to determine if any of them will qualify for our showmanship finals. Our showmanship judges right now are working double time because they're actually watching both rings. We have the same showmanship judges for the purebred as well as the commercial show of our UFA Junior Futurity show. So once this class is done, we will move into our Grand and Reserve Grand Champion drive, and then show ring number 2 will take a rest, while show ring number 1 will finish off with our commercial show. And then once the commercial show is done, we will have all of our showmanship finals. Our Pee-wee, our junior, our intermediate, and our senior showmanship finals. Just so you all know.
Judge Bradford, there is 6 entries in this class, and the age range rather is January 22nd to January 31st.
Thank you very much, Judge Kari, for doing that work for us. Our showmanship judges are satisfied. We're happy to excuse this class from the ring, and then we will bring our Grand Champion Purebred Female class on in to Horizon Ag and Turf showing number 2. So if any of our UFA Junior Futurity show parents are excited because you're worried that your youth who has qualified for the showmanship finals needs to show right away, showmanship will not take place until the showmanship All of our youth exhibitors have been evaluated for showmanship, which means also in Horizon Ag and Turf Show Ring number 1, where our UFA Junior Futurity commercial show is currently taking place. So not until the commercial show is complete will we move into our showmanship finals for Pee Wee, Junior, Intermediate, and Senior. In Horizon Ag and Turf Show Ring number 2, however, we are now moving into the ring with our qualifiers for the Purebred Junior Futurity Grand and Reserve Grand Champion Female. We will have our calves, our yearlings, and our cows.
Could we do reasons in ring number 1, Rob? Do we have time?
Of course.
Thank you. We haven't even introduced our judge, but we'll get to it, Will. This is Will Bradford, our official judge for the commercial show. And this is split number 4. And you can go.
Is it? I don't know. We'll use the red baldy here to win this class here. Heifer with added depth of body, and heifer we really like. There's a lot of good things about this animal. She's deep, she's hairy, she's dark red. It's a heifer, she's good on the move. Easily wins this class. To me, I have a problem with the third and second place heifers. 2 heifers that are kind of similar. They're more moderate. I want the heifer with a bit more frame. Does she give up and maybe her heart a bit? Just maybe a nickel. That's a heifer, I think, that's just a bit longer bodied. I just thought she had the advantage of frame size, but 2 more moderate made heifers. It'd be an interesting, more of a judgment call on that one. It was kind of a split decision. Heifer in third, that's a heifer you like for added extension. It's a heifer that, she's moderate in her type. Me just maybe like to lengthen her out through her hip from her hook bone into her pin. That's a heifer I just think I like to lengthen out a bit, but a heifer with the added advantage of depth of body. As we move into the next, black heifer is sitting in fourth. That's a heifer with added performance and a heifer that's very good in terms of overall frame size and added length of body. I just like to change that heifer up in the way she gets out on her front end. I think she gets a bit coarser in her joints as well, which I think gives the heifers above her the added advantage as well. But that's a heifer in terms of performance and productivity. I think that's a cow that's going to go and work for that young lady. As we get into the bottom side of this class, Hereford heifer that's probably going to get a bit flatter in her type. Going to get maybe a bit outpowered, as well as the red heifer coming in next. It's a heifer I think that needs a bit added body and overall performance. Thank you.
You're a rock star, Judge Bradford. So advancing. And first in this class, entry number 19, Harvey Crest Sharkey, 5119N from Chick Harvey. Second, and also advancing, entry 20, Carps Norma Jean Riley, 575N from Kurt Uremko. Third, entry 22 from Shelby Horn. Fourth, entry 23, Erica Zimmer. Fifth, entry 21 from Tatum Kerr. And sixth, entry 18 from Kelsey Hansen. Our next class is split 5, but Rob, you've got some introductions to make over in ring number 2.
We sure do. So folks, here are the contenders for our 2025 Farm Fair International UFA Junior Futurity Purebred Show Grand and Reserve Grand Champion Female. Our Junior Heifer Calf Champion comes to us from Ethan Uremko of St. Paul, Alberta. This is entry 59, right up here at the partition fence between our 2 rings, with Carps Ronnie's Nanaho Pearl 561N. Second in that class, the Reserve Division Champion, is Madeline Bishop of Killam, Alberta, entry 46, with Creekside Candy 515N. Our Senior Heifer Calf Champion, remember that extraordinarily competitive division, is entry 71, Murray's Design 153N from Tilly, Alberta's Nevada Murray. And our Reserve Senior Heifer Calf Champion is RF Scream 5117 from Abbey Ranch here, entry number 96 from Killam, Alberta. Then we got into the Junior Yearling Heifers, where Hereford from Hannah Lee's, entry number 128, from Arcola, Saskatchewan, Blair Ethel Dixie Bell 140M would become our champion, followed up by Aubrey Fraser of Red Deer County, entry number 136, CML Pearl 442M was our reserve junior yearling champion. Our senior yearling champion is Black Gold Ms. Tibby 133M from Lee Sholigan of Murnum, Alberta, entry 162. The reserve, Brooklyn Bolter of Parkland County, just outside the city here, with entry 142, Boss Lake Ms. Passion 414M. Then we moved into our cow-calf pairs, where our 2-year-old champion is the Gelpfie pair from Keston Holman, entry number 197, RWG Goodnight L415, and the reserve is Dylan Fry with Fryburn Georgina 99L, entry 199. Our mature cow champion is Willow Valley Beatrice 15K, entry 209, from Mallory Clough of Rimbey, Alberta, and our reserve mature cow champion, Chase Lauren, with his Gelpfie, entry number 208, with JML Cala 4K. And I think I see our reserve bull calf champion, who is entry number 195, BRL Nobleman 504N from Bennett Blanchette of Edam, Saskatchewan, entry number 195, because the bull calf champion, entry number 191, is coming in on the female that is our reserve champion 2-year-old, and that is the bull calf from Dylan Fry of Oxbow, Saskatchewan. So this is our UFA Junior Futurity Purebred Show. And folks, I want to take the opportunity one more time to introduce you to our judge, because this will be the last opportunity for us to do that. And that is Kari Brumley from Orovada, Nevada, who owns and operates Brumley Farms, a registered Hereford and hay operation alongside her family. They run approximately 100 registered Hereford females, including an aggressive embryo transfer, or ET, an in vitro fertilization, or IVF program. Kari has a passion for good livestock and is involved in all day-to-day operations around the ranch, from breeding decisions to preparing heifer calves for their annual spring and fall sales, to spending long hours in the barn working on show and sale cattle. Brumley is a second-generation Hereford breeder, but her passion for the breed really started, just like so many of the individuals that she's evaluated today, when she showed her first Hereford at 7 years of age. She exhibited Hereford cattle at state, regional, and national shows throughout her time as a National Junior Hereford Association member. And one of her fondest memories is being the first person to win all 4 age divisions of showmanship at the Hereford Junior Nationals. Kari and her family are proud to have raised several national champion bulls and females over the years. She is pleased to have exhibited previous show heifers and bulls of the year, and to have been named Premier Breeder and Premier Exhibitor at numerous national shows. Brumley Farms continues to exhibit cattle at many national shows and exhibit across the country, including the American Royal, the Western States Hereford Show, and one that we are all familiar with in Canada, the National Western Stock Show in Denver. Kari considers herself fortunate to have had many mentors growing up, and she enjoys giving back by mentoring junior exhibitors each summer in preparation for their Hereford Junior Nationals. Now, additional information that I didn't share with you before is that Kari actually teaches elementary school near her hometown, driven by her passion for educating youth. She has a strong passion for education and the cattle industry, and is honored to be part of the Hereford family. And a quote from Kari when she was actually named the 2025 Hereford Herdsman of the Year at the 5th Annual Cattlemen's Congress in Oklahoma City earlier this year is, she said, "Knowing my fellow breeders and peers thought of and voted for me to win this prestigious award will forever be one of the most humbling moments of my life." If we know a lot about the United States and Canada, one of the things we know is that the Hereford Junior Nationals is a very, very big deal. And it's why actually our Canadian Bonanza became the first national junior show to take place in Canada, long before any other breeds like YCS or Junior Angus had their deal. It was based on the American Junior National. And our judge this morning, Kari Brumley, has been a product of that program. So ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the indulgence, and I'm sorry if I'm holding up ring number 1, but I do want to ask you to put your hands together for our judge for the Purebred Show, Kari Brumley. And Kari's ready to make some comments.
Well, I'd first like to thank the Farm Fair for having me today. It is an honor and privilege to be asked to do this, and this is by far probably one of the most challenging things I'll probably put on my bucket list for a while. I think the competition has been incredible, and I would like to first start off by giving these kids and these breeders and the people standing ringside that have probably helped prepare these animals a huge round of applause, because I think this lineup is incredible. There are a couple soapboxes that I like to stand on, and the first that I made pretty clear is I think structure on cattle is extremely important, and I apologize, well, I probably will apologize for not apologizing for standing on that soapbox. These cattle have to be able to move, and at the end of the day, show cattle are show cattle, but they also have to make cows to be able to make you money. And I think that where our industry stands right now, that's extremely important to stay and make that the focus. And I think that I've been lucky to be raised by parents who made that our priority. Structurally sound cattle are good at the ground first, and then they can be better from there on out. I do like cattle that are pretty to look at, and I hope that you've been able to follow for me. The second soapbox that I stand on is that all of you exhibitors that are standing out here, you are the example. I grew up in this industry while I raised Hereford cattle. I have deep respect for all the breeds, but you as juniors are what is going to come of this industry. So please be kind. Be the example that others want to be, because there are a lot of juniors standing ringside who want to be you. So please make sure that you are the best example that you can possibly be. Be a helper, be a leader, be who you are supposed to be. There's a lot of bad examples out there. In fact, there's too many, and so my teacher heart wouldn't feel good if I didn't say that, because I think at the end of the day, being kind and being a good sportsman, whether you win or lose at the end of the day, is extremely important. Go back to the stalls and hug your friends, go back to the stalls and hug your family, and be thankful that you get the opportunity to be here, because I think this is an opportunity a lot of kids should get to have. I'm not going to re-talk these cattle, but I do think there's one that's hit me hard today, and I don't think that there's anything that's going to take away from that. And then from there, it gets a little bit tough for me. I think that's been an awesome day today. I think these junior exhibitors are incredible. I think the cattle have been incredible. Let's give them one more round of applause. I'm going to select your champion, and then I'm going to take one more look to pick your reserve.
Outstanding. Thank you very much, Judge Brumley. Let's go pick a couple of purebred champions. And it is going to be our heifer calf from the senior division. Congratulations to Nevada Murray. Murray's Design 153N, our senior heifer calf champion, becomes our grand champion female. Entry 71, Murray's Design 153N from Nevada Murray of Tilly, Alberta. Our grand champion of the UFA Junior Futurity Purebred Show. And it will be Lee Sholigan, entry number 162 in reserve, black gold, Ms. Tibby 133M from Lee Sholigan of Murnum, Alberta. So our senior heifer calf, and our senior yearling for Nevada Murray of Tilly, Alberta, and Lee Sholigan of Murnham, Alberta, our grand and reserve grand champion of our purebred show. Congratulations to all of our exhibitors. Thanks to our judges, to all of our volunteers. Folks, will focus now on Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 1 and the commercial component of the UFA Junior Futurity show.
Of course, and we're ready for comments in our final split of commercial heifer calves from Judge Will Bradford.
As we switch gears back to the commercial show, we start off with a black calf here. I think that wins this class quite easily. She's the longest made, most powerful in terms of rib shape and the dimension she adds over her top line. I think that heifer has the added advantages of the length of body, along with being able just a bit deeper and have that added performance. I think that's what's going to bring her to the top of the class. Heifer coming sitting in second place. You know, this is more of the show heifer, more show heifer type. She's a heifer that's nice down her top line. She's nice out of her front end. You like her down in through her shoulder. She's sound on the ground. I think maybe she just gives up a bit of terms of length and added power to the first place heifer. But I think that's an animal that's very good in its own kind, and very similar to our third place heifer as we move into the line here. Here's a heifer I think that types up really nice with our second place heifer. I think maybe she just gets a little flatter typed in her rib shape. You just like to stone her up over her hip in comparison to the heifer that's going to beat her. I think that's a heifer, again, you know, she's nice out of her front end. She's nice out of her shoulder. She maybe just ever so slightly toes out on her front end, just a hair. But that's a heifer I think that's quite nice in the way she's put together. As we move into the middle of the class here, I have a black and white heifer. I think she, in terms of power and performance, she might have that type with our first place heifer, but I think she gets maybe a bit more common through her head and through her skull shape. He has like to have an added expansion through her forerib and up and through her heart. That's a heifer I think that has an added advantage in length of body. That's a heifer I think that has a lot of productivity in the future, and congratulations to that exhibitor. As we move into the bottom of the class here, here's a couple heifer calves that are just going to get a bit outpowered in terms of overall performance and rib shape and overall condition score. And I'd just like to congratulate those kids for bringing their cattle to the show today. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. So advancing to our division finals, entry number 30, RF Beauty, 534 from Cade Rancier of Killam. And joining him, entry number 29, Cinder Frasia, 729N from Tavian Yoder of Barhead. Third went to entry number 28, Kate Nielsen. Fourth went to entry 27, Paige Zimmer. Fifth, entry 25, Haley Jordan. And sixth entry, 31, Gage Hansen. So our next class into the ring will be class number 2. This is our division final for the commercial heifer calves. Judge Will Bradford should have 10 entries in this class. One thing that we do want to make sure all of our junior exhibitors, but maybe more so their parents, need to know is that no showmanship class will happen until the completion of the commercial show. No showmanship will happen until the commercial show is done. Now, having said that, we are having our commercial heifer calf championship. There is one class of yearlings, one class of 2-year-olds, one class of mature, and then our championship. So just keep that in mind, folks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, to recap our advancements from our 5 splits. From our first split, entry 48, RWG Splash 338N from Chase Holman of Red Deer County was your class winner, followed by entry number 3, BF Drama 512N from Bo Bishop of Killam. In our second class, our class winner was entry number 11, DMCC Katniss 525N from Emily Dick of Westlock. Second in that second split is Bryn Burkhart, entry number 10 with Rockstar Love and Margs from Lacombe County. In our third split, our class winner, entry number 13, Harvey Crest Cream Soda 5143N with Tell Harvey from Mountain View County on the halter. Second in that class, Tidy's Rosie 200N, that's entry 15 from Shanley Fankhanel. In our fourth split, Entry number 19 was our champion. That is Chick Harvey with Harvey Crest Sharkey, 5119N. And second in that class, entry 20, Corpse Norma Jean Riley, 575N, from Kurt Uremko of St. Paul. In our fifth and final split, the one that advanced, first place was entry number 30, RF Beauty, 534, from Cade Rancier of Killam, and joining him, entry number 29 from Tavian Yoder of Barhead with Cinder Frasia, 729N. We have not had an opportunity to introduce you to our judge. No stranger to a show ring. I think that Will Bradford has been to nearly every junior show on the planet and certainly has done well in each. He's also a mentor to many, but he hails from Eckville, where he and his mom and dad, Peter and Vicky and brother Wyatt, own and operate Bar 17 Little Valley Livestock, where you'll find some of the finest Angus and Simmental genetics around. Will Bradford has excelled with many Supreme Champions, lots of showmanship wins under his belt, and certainly is no stranger to showing and no stranger to the junior show programs. Thank you once again to Will Bradford for being our official judge for the commercial portion of our junior Futurity. A calendar, 2-year-old, and a mature, and a champion. Yep, 32 minutes. And we're ready now for comments on our division championship from Judge Bradford.
Really strong set of heifer calves in the percentage show today, right from the first class to the split 5. There's a lot of good cattle in here. I think there's 4 heifers in this class. I think they really elevate themselves to the top. Heifers you like for their overall, from a production standpoint. I think they're cattle that are going to go on and make cows and bred heifers that are going to go on to work for the exhibitors today. So with that, we'll keep her short, and I'll just go pick the 2 heifers in my mind, I think, that are going to go on and be good cows in the future and make these young kids some money.
Thank you, Will, as he goes out and selects what will be his champion commercial heifer calf, representing the heifer calf division in our overall championship drive. 10 of the finest, ladies and gentlemen. And his favorite is entry number 30. That is our class winner from the final split. Congratulations, Cade Rancier with RF Beauty 534. He will be your champion commercial heifer calf. And he's going to follow that up with our class winner from the second split. And congratulations go to our entry number 11. DMCC Katniss 525N. That's Emily Dick of Westlock, so congratulations. Our 2 Simmental Influence heifers will be our champion in the commercial division. Congratulations to Emily and Cade. They will be back in just a few classes' time, so don't go too far, folks. Our next class is going to be our commercial yearling class, and there is only one. If you're following in your show program, our yearling class should have 7 entries. Attention all junior futurity exhibitors, please plan for a 1 o'clock start in our showmanship. 1 o'clock, we will start with showmanship. Pass that on to your friends, folks. 1 o'clock, we'll kickstart our showmanship. I believe we will be running in 2 rings for showmanship at 1 o'clock.
To any of the juniors that can hear my voice, we want to update everyone on showmanship. We will be starting showmanship at 1 o'clock. So we are going to hold showmanship in both rings until 1 o'clock. The peewees and juniors will show in ring number 1. The intermediates and seniors will show in ring number 2. So we would ask for our intermediate class to be in the marshalling area for 1 o'clock at ring 2, and our peewees in ring number 1.
So Will, just for your knowledge, the age spread in this yearling class is January 10th to April 7th. And with that, we'll have comments on our yearling division championship from Judge Will Bradford.
uses a red baldy heifer to win this class. I just think in terms of a breed character and from a production standpoint, I think this cow or this bred heifer has a lot to offer. She's nice down her top line. She's nice in her color. She's nice dark red. You like the teeth placements on her. You like her through her head and neck as well. Similar to some of the heifer cow in a previous division in terms of type. That's a heifer cow, and to me, in terms of this class, that's going to go and she's going to set herself ahead. Heifer we're going to use be second. You know, in terms of type, she's probably going to type up with her third place heifer. I kind of just like this heifer's skull, the way she's analyzed, the way she blends that head, and the way her skull is shaped. I think that heifer is better through her shoulders as well, just a bit smoother, not quite as broad in terms of the way she puts her front feet on the ground. Nice heifer to come in the second place. As we move into the third place heifer, here's a big heifer, big performance, big bodied heifer. She gets maybe a bit coarse and a bit stout off her front end. That's a heifer that's really stout with the added mass and added volume. I just like to maybe just bring her in and smooth her up through her shoulders and just change the shape of her skull a bit in terms of the look and appearance. That's a heifer with a lot of character and a lot of performance. So congratulations. As we come into the next three heifers, you know, heifers are maybe a bit more common in their type and kind. Heifers are just going to get a bit outclassed in terms of show ring appearance and look. And I think these are heifers that are still useful in these kids' cow herds as well. But in terms of being able to compete with the show heifers above them, they probably are going to get a bit outcoursed today. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Judge Bradford. So our champion commercial yearling heifer goes to the entry 35 DMCC Katniss 414M from Emily Dick of Westlock. And your reserve champion commercial yearling heifer, entry number 37, Aubrey Higgins with KR Miss Tink. Third in class went to entry number 141, Blake Fisk with Fisk Susie Q 415M. Fourth, entry 33, Lincoln Holman with BNH Made Right Lou 7M. Fifth, entry number 34, JML Moneypenny 19M, exhibited by Chase Lauren. And sixth, entry number 32, Mabel from Kylie Bellamy.
Where should I put this?
In the cards, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is class number 5, our commercial 2-year-olds. We have 2 entries in this class. We have a end of March 2-year-old and a start of January 2-year-old. Judge Will Bradford, 2 entries in our commercial 2-year-old class. And with that, we'll have comments from Judge Will Bradford.
Two very good pairs here in our commercial 2-year-old division. I'm going to go with the Baldy pair to win this. I think this cow is doing a whale of a job on this bull calf. You know, I think that's maybe what's going to set it apart. I know there's a bit of birth date and differences, but I do really like that big Baldy calf at the front. I think a cow, 2-year-old, doing that kind of job on a calf I think that's something to commend to the cow. And as you look at them individually, you like the cow and the way she comes out of her tail head, down her top line into her head. Nice udder set as well. Doing a good job on that bull calf. Calf that's rugged in his type. A bull that's long-bodied and it's big hip on him as well. Nice pair to start off the 2-year-old division. As we come into the second place cow, a cow you can't take anything away from. She might even blend that four-quarter right in, that four-quarter into her belly line. Maybe even a nickel better than the first place cow. But a cow, I think maybe it's a bit flatter in her type and her hip. You just like to smoothen her out through her forerib and just expand her through her heart. But a cow you like in terms of her head and neck as well. Bull calf she's got on the side of her, a real stylish calf. Maybe a bit narrower in terms of his pin set, but a calf you like over his top line, you like into his head and neck, and a calf that's quite sound. But two interesting pairs, and I would like to see them in the championship class later today.
Thank you, Will. So your champion commercial 2-year-old goes to Stella and Hawken Mater of Mater Ranches with Mater Sugar 49L. That's entry 39. And your reserve grand champion commercial 2-year-old, entry number 38, NLF 309L, Baby Jane from Gina Sobkow of Bruderheim. So congratulations to our top two in the 2-year-old division. Mature cows are going to come next, and Judge Bradford, you should have 2 entries in mature cow, and then folks, we're going to have a lineup to declare our champion commercial female. Well, folks, this is our last class of the day prior to our overall grand champion. 2 mature cows for your appraisal, Judge Bradford. Both of these are 3-year-old cows, born 8 days apart. And with that, folks, we're going to have comments on our mature cow class from Judge Will.
uses a black pair here. I think the cow has the added advantage of, I think she's level over her top line. I think you like the angle of how she comes out of her hooks through her pins. You know, that cow's better down her top line as well. You like the other quality, probably a bit more in the black cow. Nice heifer calf she has in front of her. Nice black pair to start off the mature cows. Red cow coming in second place. You know, here's a cow is doing a good job on her heifer calf. Lots of milk in this cow as well. Nice red pair to finish off our mature division. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. So your champion mature cow, entry number 41, BNH Tibby's Independence 9KET from Colby Holman of Red Deer County. And our reserve champion mature cow, entry number 40, that's Minnie from Carly Miller of Bicyker. So our two mature cows are going to maybe stay in the ring, and I think we're going to reintroduce you to our calf champions, yearlings and 2-year-olds, as we line up for the Supreme Champion Commercial Female. Congratulations to our champion commercial calf. This is the entry from Cade Rance here. Entry number 30, RF Beauty, 534, followed by our reserve champion commercial heifer calf, DMCC Katniss, 525N from Emily Dick. That's entry number 11. Then our yearling champion, entry number 35, DMCC Katniss, 414M. From Emily Dick at Westlock. Our reserve champion commercial yearling heifer, entry number 37 from Aubrey Higgins, that's KR Miss Tink. From our 2-year-old division, entry number 39, Mater Sugar 49L, exhibited by Stella and Hawken Mater. Our reserve champion 2-year-old cow from Gina Sobcow, that's NLF 309L Baby Jane, she's entry 38. Our mature cow champion, entry 41 from Colby Holman, that's a BNH Tibby's Independence 9KET. And our reserve mature cow, entry number 40, that's Minnie from Carly Miller. So congratulations to our 8 qualifiers for our overall grand champion commercial female. Many thanks also to Jill Harvey and a crew of folks that she has assembled for the UFA Junior Futurity, and what a team it is. Thank you so much, Jill, for all your hard work that you've put into the show. The juniors much appreciate it. As we introduced earlier, Will Bradford is no stranger to the show ring. Him, along with his family, Peter, Vicky, and Wyatt, own and operate a very high-quality seed stock operation, Bar 17 Little Valley Livestock. They hail from Eckville. And I think it's safe to say that Will has been to every major junior show in Canada of all breeds, and has been adjudicating junior shows and 4-H shows for the last few years, and is just a real treat. And with that, we're going to have some comments on this really stiff competition lineup of commercial females from Judge Will Bradford.
I think everyone should give these exhibitors in the ring a big round of applause for the quality of the cattle that we've seen in this commercial show. Right from the heifer calves to the mature cows, there's been a lot of good animals step through the ring, and I think that's a testament what the breeders and what the kids in these junior shows are doing, bringing better cattle out every year and again. Yeah, I think there's 2 animals out here that fit the bill for me. With that, I'd just like to thank the Farm Fair Committee for allowing me to come out and do this. It's always an honor to be allowed to judge at one of the biggest shows in all of Canada, and I think that's a feat that no one should take lightly. Along with that, I've got to thank the sponsors that without them, they don't allow this to happen. And then for all the kids in here, go thank your family, go thank your parents, and all the people that allow you to be able to do this. Not many, like our judge in the Purebred show said today, it's something everyone should be allowed to do, and I think that's a true statement to what this has the ability to make an impact on kids. So with that, I'll go select your champion and then your reserve champion commercial female.
Congratulations, Mater Ranches, Stella and Hawken on the halter. I've loved that female since she was a calf. Congratulations, Stella. She is your commercial grand champion female here at the 2025 UFA Junior Futurity. She is sugar. And he's going with your yearling. Congratulations to our champion yearling heifer. That's Emily Dick of Westlock with DMCC Katniss 414M. Congratulations to Emily and Stella. What a pair of commercial champions. Many thanks to our official judge, Will Bradford, for his adjudication of this show. And also, we want to thank UFA. Man, oh man, UFA invests in rural Alberta, and most especially, they invest in rural youth. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're parents wanting to plan for showmanship, Pee-wee and Junior will be in ring number 1. That is the commercial ring. Pee-wees and Juniors in ring 1. Ring number 2 will be intermediates and seniors. It makes sense when you start junior or Pee-wee, Junior, Intermediate, Senior, that will be in the ring number 1 for the young kids, ring number 2 for the big kids. if Kari Brumley is in the building, they are waiting for you at the show champion shop box. Kari Brumley, if you could come back to the show ring, that would be grand.
Ladies and gentlemen, here in Hall B at our Horizon Ag and Turf show rings 1 and 2, we will be featuring the showmanship finals. Our Pee Wee showmanship will commence in show ring number 1, and the first split of our intermediate showman will be taking place in show ring number 2. And I believe that we are hoping that our first split of intermediate showmen will include Nevada Murray, Cordell Morrison, Melody Brundage, Quinn Hagel, Rio Noble, Briar Blanchette, Hannah Lees, Riley Brewer, Aubrey Fraser, and Gina Sobkow. If those could be at the hitching ring, please. We would like you to be our first of the two splits of intermediate showmen. In Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2, we are ready to commence with our first split of our intermediate showmen.
Okay, guys, tell me the...
Marshal Ange Rancier, whenever you're ready and we have our acting judge and ring staff in place, we are able to commence with our first split of intermediate showmen. So in Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2, this is the first of our 2 splits of intermediate showmen. for our UFA Junior Futurity Show, Intermediate Showmanship semifinals. And we do have in the ring Cordell Morrison, Melody Brundage, Quinn Hagel, Rio Noble, Briar Blanchette, Hannah Lees, Aubrey Fraser, Peyton Hagel, and Bennett Blanchette. This is our first round of semifinals. And do remember, folks, as we said earlier today, that in the end, each of our age categories will want a top 10. So our judge, Kaylee Brandel, will be advancing likely more than 5 from each of her semifinal classes. She'll probably be advancing 6, 7, something like that. The judges will be advancing however many they think is most appropriate to be able to give them a solid top 10 at the end. And we want to thank Rob and Dee Young for being back to assist with ringing. They have been ringing since 8:30 this morning. And of course, both Rob and Dee, I don't think, have missed a Farm Fair International. Certainly not in this facility, but I think even long before that, Rob and Dee have been fixtures at Farm Fair. Happy to have them helping with our junior show this year.
So if there's anyone following along in ring number 1, this is the first split of peewees. This is going to be the best class of the day and the next class, best classes. So these are kids that are typically 8 and under. And they have a variety of different skills and experiences. But one thing we know for sure is that this is a great opportunity for them to get out and practice and be in the big lights. And our judge for this is Trinity Martin. And she's been in the show ring ever since she was as big as you guys. And also, for our peewees, there is going to be a little prize for everybody.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that right? 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our work is done in Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2 and our first split of our intermediates. The following individuals will be advancing to the finals. Quinn Hagel, Peyton Hagel, Hannah Lees, Cordell Morrison, Bennett Blanchette, Aubrey Fraser, Cordell Morrison, Aubrey Fraser, and Rio Noble. So Quinn Hagel, Peyton Hagel, Hannah Lees, Cordell Morrison, Aubrey Fraser, and Rio Noble. You are advancing to Bennett Blanchette, Briar Blanchette, and Melody Brundage. Excellent job. Thank you very much for being part of our UFA Junior Show and for making the showmanship semifinals. Quinn, Peyton, Hannah, Cordell, Aubrey, and Rio, we will see you again in our intermediate finals. Kaylee Brandel is our intermediate showmanship judge. And wasting no time working her showman in the semifinals.
Over in ring number 1, because we sort of did a gate run, we're just going to acknowledge the kids as they leave the ring. So thank you for participating. Wells Davis, Austin Polnecu, Boston Fettig, Elijah Weir, Parker Fetting, Averly Palansu, Paisley Barnert, Greta Pearson, Madeline Bishop, Avery Pearson, and those are the ones we know. But many thanks to Pet Pad, who is delivering, or sponsored rather, a special toy for each of the kids in our Pee Wee contest. And thank you to Tracy and Lexi Dietrich, who are presenting those. And many thanks to the Pee-wees who have entered, and our next class will be the second half of our Pee-wees. Okay. So then, all I'm trying to... So if you're following along in ring number 1, this is our second split of Pee-wees. Once again, this is youth that are ages 8 and under. So we would like to acknowledge our showmen in the second class. And this, of course, folks, is in no particular order because they came in when they felt comfortable and safe and they felt good. So it's no order. So we want to thank Tell Harvey, Raleigh Fisher, Wacy Fisher, Emily Richards, Elizabeth Theron, Emerson Yakumchuk, Quinn O'Neill, McKinley Yakumchuk, and Lily McKay. And if I've missed your name on here, I am forever sorry. But we're so grateful and thankful that you're here. So keep up the good work, kids.
In Horizon Ag and Turf, showing number 2, we have our 6 advancing from our second split of intermediate showmen, and they include Tinley Harvey, entry number 161, Chick Harvey, entry number 19, Nevada Murray, entry number 71, Hawken Mader, entry number 171, Gina Sobkow, entry number 138, and Chelsea Triber, entry number 7. So Tinley, Chick, Nevada, Hawken, Gina, and Chelsea, you're advancing to our very next class, our intermediate championship. To Bronwyn Zwicker, Declan Allum, and Riley Brewer, thank you and congratulations for making the intermediate semifinals. Tinley, Chick, Nevada, Hawken, Gina, and Chelsea, you'll be coming right back into the ring for our intermediate finals evaluated by Kaylee Brandel.
Now just keep in mind that our official showmanship judge is Trinity Martin, and she is picking out a top group. And that top group is going to come in for the finals. So just keep in mind that that top group will come back, and our very amazing Jill Mader has our first split waiting in the wings in the marshalling area.
Jill Harvey. Jill Harvey, could you come over here for just a sec when you can, please?
last class. They'll be coming back in for overall PB champion.
So Horizon Ag and Turf Show Ring 1, where our Pee Wee showmanship is happening, those last 6, we need you back in the ring, please, for our Pee Wee showmanship finals. The 6 that advanced from the last class, if you could come back into Horizon Ag and Turf Show Ring number 1 for your Pee Wee showmanship finals, please, evaluated by Trinity Martin. If there are some parents that would help us with our top 10 photo, if you could come on over to the announcer stand here, kind of where the ribbons are hanging, just ahead of the Horizon Ag and Turf John Deere loader tractor. We'd appreciate a few parents to come forth and help, please.
And Rob, over in ring number 1, we're bringing our showman that advanced from the first split back in for Judge Trinity Martin to take a look at. So we have 10 entries in our finals here for the Pee Wee Showmanship, and our Judge Trinity Martin, who hails from Martin Cattle Services of Stettler. I'm afraid we're going to lose her to the Anchor D group at Rimby, as her and Garen Skeels have planned their future together. It's so lovely. So every one of the Pee Wee Showmanship that make the top 10 are receiving a chloroplast board that identifies them as a top 10 finalist. And then there's some beautiful ribbons to hand out as well. And what's even more cool is we're going to do a photo of the top 10.
Just as a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, of our showmanship judges, in Horizon Ag and Turf Showring number 1, where our Pee Wee finals, I believe, are taking place, our judge is Trinity Martin. Trinity has always had a passion for the agriculture industry and showing cattle. She currently lives with her fiancé in Rimby, Alberta, where they help operate Anchor D Ranch and manage their own herd of purebred Simmental. A proud 4-H alumna of over 10 years, Trinity continues to give back to youth and agricultural programs whenever she can. She currently serves on both the Alberta Young Simmental Board and the National Young Canadian Simmental Association Board, where she helps organize and promote youth events within the Simmental breed. Trinity is honored and excited for the opportunity to judge this showmanship competition, and we're happy to have Trinity with us. And over in Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2, where we have our intermediate finals happening, Kaylee Brandel is our judge. Kaylee grew up at Brandel Cattle Company in Jarvie, Alberta, a family operation that thrives on producing Angus cattle with real substance and longevity. The Brandel family hosts a bull sale every March and sells females at several of the great fall sales. Kaylee is now residing in Viking, Alberta, alongside Bryce Maxwell and his family at Maxwell Simmental. Kaylee owns and operates Brandel Cattle Creative, specializing in show and sale cattle photography. Showing cattle has always been one of Kaylee's greatest passions, and she's excited to be adjudicating showmanship at one of her favorite fall shows, FARMFAIR International. We want to remind everybody that what we're into now is the top 10 showmanship awards that will be awarded in each of the divisions at the conclusion of the confirmation classes. We're just about to award the Pee Wee Top 10 and the Intermediate Top 10. And we'd like to thank our sponsors, Mater Ranches, Harvey Ranching, Cattle Vids, and New Haven Cattle Company, as well as our Pee Wee sponsors at PetPad for their showmanship sponsors. And we want to mention and thank our Junior Futurity Committee for all their contributions this year. This junior program, the UFA Junior Futurity, is truly a focal point of FARMFAIR International. And please remember, folks, that we will be giving out a new award in the Junior Supreme, along with the cash award, a new prize edition this year, which is a scooter, sponsored by Harvey Ranching and Miller Wilson Angus. That'll be coming in our Junior Supreme. But just want to thank Harvey Ranching and Miller Wilson Angus for making that happen and provide a bit of a preview that it is coming.
Yeah, she's excusing.
So Gina Sobkow, entry number 138, and Chick Harvey, entry number 19, are excused from our showmanship finals. Everyone, please give Chick and Gina a big round of applause. They made it this far. Way to go, Gina Sobkow and Chick Harvey. The finalists are in the ring, and I believe our judge will be announcing them 10th through champion. 10th through first place?
Top two.
Okay, just a top 2. So what's the purpose of the top 10?
So while we're waiting for the final rankings in ring number 2, we are so excited to pass the mic over to Trinity Martin, one of the finest showmen you'll ever find in the beef industry, to provide us with some comments here in our Pee Wee class. Thank you so much, Trinity, and we can't wait to hear what you have to say to our Pee Wee members.
Start off by giving these Pee Wees a big round of applause. I think this is truly one of the hardest working groups out here today. Every single one of you has done an awesome job. Just the eagerness of this age division is just outstanding. Every single one of you is just so excited to be here, and it's just really great to see. I think you guys, it's just really nice to see how young some of these members are, and you can tell some of these slightly older members in my top 10 here have been doing it since they could probably walk, and it's really great to see how excited you all are and how honestly competitive you're getting as you're getting older. I think with that, you all have done an outstanding job here today. Unfortunately, I can only pick a champion in reserve, and with that, I'll go do that. Every one of you has done an awesome job, and you're all in the top 10. So you're very competitive, and I think you're all going to be amazing showmen as you grow up.
Congratulations to Tell Harvey as your Pee Wee champion showman here at Farm Fair International. And Trinity, I can't even keep up to her. Whew. And congratulations to entry number 26 is going to be our reserve. Congratulations, guys. Now, everybody stay where you're at. That's so good. Remember the second split, this is maybe more for parents, the second split of Pee-wees that made the top 5 didn't get their prize. So make sure you see Tracy Dietrich to get your prize. Don't forget. And right now, our parents are going to come in and help the kids hold their livestock, and then we're going to get a picture with their boards at the show champions backdrop. And if your animal has been picked up by a parent, please just walk over to the blue banner.
Alrighty, so while our Pee-wees in showing number 1 are moving into their picture formation, we are ready now in Horizon Ag and Turf showing number 2 with our judge Kaylee Brandel to be able to make some comments on her top 10 intermediate showmen. We just want to let you know that our finalists here include, in random order, Quinn Hagel, Peyton Hagel, Hannah Lees, Cordell Morrison, Aubrey Fraser, Rio Noble, Tinley Harvey, Nevada Murray, Hawken Mader, and Chelsea Triber. And you're all the top 10. You're all going to get awards, and we're going to move you into position, so kind of be looking a little bit at what the Pee-wees are doing, because you guys are going to be doing this in just a few minutes' time. And you're going to be doing it around your Grand and Reserve Grand Champion intermediate showman. Comments now from Judge Kaylee Brandel.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's truly an honor to be standing in this position here today. It doesn't really feel like all that long ago that I was also in this exact ring doing the exact same thing that you guys are, and I know how much hard work you guys put into it and all the little details of everything. So I would just like to give all these kids, whether they're standing out here in front of me or they're standing out in the back of the barn, a really big round of applause. Showmanship to me is absolutely my favorite sport, and you know, I think a really good showman, if you can come out here and you can get your animal looking their absolute best, and coming out here looking their absolute best, and it comes down to you and all the little details, and if you can come out here and do it in such a calm way about you, I think that really puts the cherry on top of things. Personally, I could come out here and just about close my eyes. It's too bad I had to send two kids out of the ring here to pick a top 10. I could just about come out here and close my eyes and pick any 2 out here to be champion in reserve today. But I think there's a couple kids out here that, as my good friend Jordy Buba would say, it's my day. I'm judging things right now, and I can do whatever I want. So I'm going to go out here, and I am going to pick a champion in reserve, but absolutely unreal job today by all of you. You should be really proud of yourselves, and make sure you thank your parents and the sponsors and the organizers. These things couldn't happen without all of them, and yeah, just soak all this up. This is absolutely going to shape you into the people that you are. So very well done today, and I'm going to go find you a champion in reserve.
Thanks very much, Kaylee. Folks, put your hands together for Kaylee Brandel, our intermediate showmanship judge, one of the best young showmen of recent times. On the lookout now, she's among her top 10 intermediate showmen for her Grand and Reserve Grand Champion. And is that the order, Kaylee? You're going to pick them in Grand, then Reserve? Perfect. And it's going to be entry number 112, Quinn Hagel. Congratulations, Quinn Hagel, our grand champion intermediate showman. Quinn Hagel, entry number 112. And our reserve is Hawken Mater, entry number 171. Congratulations, Hawken Mater. While our intermediates are being spotlighted in show ring number 2, we want to announce that Hudson Bomeister has received the intermediate random cash draw from all of our intermediate showmen in the UFA Junior Futurity show for $750. Hudson Bomeister, if you want to come to the announcer's stand, we have a voucher to give you that is the indication that you won the intermediate random draw of $750. Congratulations, Hudson Bomeister, as well as to our reserve intermediate champion showman Hawken Mater and our grand champion intermediate showman Quinn Hagel. If we could arrange the 10 of you into a photo, that would be perfect. We do have random draws for both seniors and juniors, but we'll announce those while our junior and senior showmanship finals are taking place. Once again in Horizon Ag and Turf showing number 2, we're leaving the ring now are our top 10 intermediate showmen from the 2025 UFA Junior Futurity Show. Many thanks to Kaylee Brandel, our judge, and congratulations and thanks to all of our intermediate exhibitors. Next up will be the first split of seniors in ring number 2. Currently in ring number 1 is our juniors. So in Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2, this is our first split of our senior showmanship finals. In the ring we have entry number 76, Scarlett Fowler. Entry number 89, Brenna Fornwald. Entry number 92, Dakota Noble. Entry number 96, Abby Rancier. Entry number 110, Shay Noble. Entry number 118, Delta Hippie. Joss Pittman is next. Entry number 126. And rounding out our first split of senior showmen is London Matthews, entry number 120. Our judge will be looking to advance the number that she desires, and it'll be from these 8 outstanding senior showmen. Our senior showmanship is evaluated by Jessie Milne-Smith, a 4th-generation Angus breeder originating from the Ottawa Valley in Ontario, where she and her family have been raising cattle, Angus cattle under the name Rideau Angus for over 70 years. Rideau Canal, Rideau Angus, get it, folks? Now residing in Douglas, Manitoba, Jessie and Andrew Kopachuk breed around 240 head annually under the RSK Farms and Rideau Angus prefix. The main herd consists of purebred Herefords and Angus, as well as a commercial herd of Hereford and Angus cross Simmental cows. Their herd are true beef cows, developed over generations of sound breeding, elite genetics, and balanced traits. Genetics from both farms have been consigned to many sales over the past years and can be found in herds throughout North America and around the globe. They have had great success over the years showing and exhibiting cattle across the country and exhibiting numerous national champion and reserve champion females and bulls. Jessie and Andrew are proud to annually host the RSK RAF Elite Genetics Bull Sale in March, which consists of Hereford and Angus bulls as well as some select commercial females, and an annual online fall female sale in October. And if you're ever in Douglas, Manitoba, feel free to stop in for a visit and hang with Jessie and Andrew. We're very happy to have Jessie Milne-Smith as our senior showmanship judge at FARMFAIR International 2025. Our largest random draw from FARMFAIR International to a junior exhibitor is the senior draw, and it is for $1,000. You may remember there was an addition to the mature cow class, and that was a Gelbvieh cow that came from Chase Lauren. Well, Chase Lauren is the recipient of our senior random draw of $1,000. Congratulations, Chase Lauren. Chase, we do have a voucher for you if you would like to come and collect it. We still have the voucher for Hudson Bowmeister, the $750 draw for our intermediates. And we will be announcing shortly the $500 junior random draw. It'll be going to one of the individuals that actually is in the junior showmanship finals.
So Rob, I think that any unclaimed gift certificates should come to the announcer. How about that? Okay. Decided. Our judge, Trinity Martin, has made her selections, and in the order in which I have them written down, which is absolutely random, these are your top 10 in the juniors. Gentry Harvey, Lila Harvey, Sage Schneider, Brooklyn Bolter, Claire Cadieux, Briggs Blanchett, Hiller Gardner, Kenna Vermette, Ainsley Fraser, and Blake Fisk. So congratulations to those top 10, and we'd ask you to just stay standing. And now we're going to have some comments from our judge, Trinity Martin, to give you a little bit of insight about what she's looking for in junior showmanship.
We'll give another round of applause to these juniors out here today. this is just an insanely elite group of young showmen. I think, like, every single one of them, I think I'd let show one of mine. They're just absolutely outstanding. Definitely was really hard to pick a champion in reserve, and I think every single one of you deserves a pat on the back for the job you did out here today. Just the precision and overall knowledge of your cattle. You can tell you've done a lot of work at home to get them ready and get them out here today and get them to be able to walk into that setup position as well as you do. You all were super on the ball watching me as soon as you came in the ring. Just your overall presence in the ring is what I was looking for today, and that confidence on the halter. You definitely all have it down pat and make it look really easy. Calm hands make calm cattle, and my top two showmen, definitely today, they didn't miss a beat. And with that, I think I'll go select my champion in reserve. But again, congratulations to all of you, and thank you to the committee for having me out here to judge this show.
Thank you, Trin. So we'll ask everyone just to stay standing, nobody move. All eyes on Trinity Martin as she goes and selects her champion junior showman and reserve. Congratulations to Lila Harvey. She's your grand champion junior showman here at FARMFAIR International. Now just a reserve. And that is going to our entry 178. That's Briggs Blanchard. Congratulations to our top two. Now, nobody leave. What we're asking you to do is pull forward towards the stands, make a legal turn, and face me by the tractor. All in a row, side by side. So everybody just needs to face me, Tracy, and just look at me with your heads of your cattle and you.
And Tracy, our final random draw to give to a junior exhibitor is a $500 cash prize, and that is going to Hiller Gardner. We have a voucher, Hiller, for you, a $500 junior random draw. So those draws, again, going to Hiller Gardner for juniors, $500. Hudson Bowmeister, $750 to intermediates, and Chase Lauren, $1,000 to seniors. So going back to our first split of our senior showmen, we want to thank Scarlett Fowler, Brenna Fornwald, and London Matthews for making the semifinals. The 5 that advanced to our final competition for senior showmanship: Dakota Noble, entry number 92, entry number 96, Abby Rancier, Shea Noble, entry number 110, entry number 118, Delta Hippie, and entry number 126, Joss Pittman. In the ring now are the 9 final semifinalists.
I'm not positive. It's 92, but it might be 192 or something. I can't read her whole number because her hair covered.
And they include entry number 92, Tavian Yoder, 162, Lee Sholigan, 194, Addison Barnett, entry 22, Shelby Horn, entry 171, Jaron Lehman, 228, Maya Aluk, entry 28, Kate Nielsen, entry 30, Kate Rancier, and entry number 39, Stella Mader. This is our second semifinal competition for senior showmanship.
If there's anyone in show ring number 1 that's wanting a special picture with show champions, please make your way to their backdrop. But ladies and gentlemen, that does it for ring number 1, and congratulations to our Pee-wees and juniors. Our showmanship finals are done, and many thanks to Trinity Martin for facilitating that, to all the volunteers, most especially Kirk Wildman, because hey, ringman job is the most important job.
Advancing from our semifinal 2 division of our senior showmanship, there are 6, and they are entry number 28, Kate Nielsen. Entry number 29, Tavian Yoder. Entry number 39, Stella Mader. Entry number 162, Lee Sholigan. Entry number 30, Kate Rancier. And entry number 171, Jaron Lehman. Congratulations to our semifinal finalists now. And we also want to acknowledge Addison Barnett, entry number 194, Shelby Horn, entry number 22, and Maya Aluk, entry number 228, for making the semifinals. You've beat out dozens of other showmen to get here. Congratulations. Now on to our finals, judged by Jesse Milne-Smith.
So what does he do with it?
So Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2 is featuring our final class of the 2025 Farm Fair International UFA Junior Futurity Show. This is our senior showmanship finals, judged by Jesse Milne-Smith. And our finalists are entry number 92, Dakota Noble. Entry number 96, Abby Rancier. Entry 110, Shay Noble. Entry number 118, Delta Hippie. Entry number 126, Joss Pittman. Entry 120, London Matthews. Entry 29, Tavian Yo.